Hi, it's Lee from colouringqueen.net, and guess what I've got? That's right, the English imprint of Blomster Mandala by Maria Trolle. And looking at them side by side, don't they look gorgeous? Now there's a few little differences between them, and they're really, really minor. I've gone through Blomster Mandala page by page up against Twilight Garden, and now I'll tell you what I found. And I only went through it very quickly because I was pretty excited to show it to you. Now the bunny, and we all know I love bunnies, so I'm always going to pick up a bunny first. The bunny is slightly pinker on Twilight Garden than it is on Blomster Mandala. Now that may be because it's fresh out of the printing press and the colours are nice and new, or it may be that they've used a slightly different shade of colour there. This is slightly darker, and that could just be because it's new, as I said. Over here the pink flowers are also slightly darker than they are on Blomster Mandala, and really that's pretty well it. Now obviously we've still got the little birdie up here, same as Blomster Mandala, but this is more of a gold and this is more of a richer gold over here. So they're both gold foiling, they're just slightly different in shades. Now where the real difference is, we obviously don't have the Printworks publishing down here because this is published by Gibbs Smith, who do a fantastic job on producing these Swedish books into an English imprint. So we've got the text in English on the back, and over here it's in Swedish. Same design, same layout, just a little bit of difference with barcode pricing and publisher's details. Now the main difference is up against the spine, so I don't know if you can see this clearly or not, but Twilight Garden is a sort of goldy coppery colour, whereas Blomster Mandala's spine is more of an olivey gold colour, more greenish than goldish. So nice difference there, and it makes it easy to find them on the shelf. Now the other thing that you might notice is which one's bigger, and it's the English one. The English book is actually thicker than the Swedish book. So I wonder why that is. And if we have a look at them up against each other like this, and I'll just tilt them so that you can see, and we're going to lose a little bit in the tilting process here. I'll try and redo them again. So what you'll see is that there's a couple of mil difference between them. It's the Swedish book that's a couple of mil bigger on the cover. Not on the pages, but on the cover. So when we them down, even them up here, and just look down the side. Not really going to see it from that angle, but you can see it here when they're laying flat. So you can see that the Swedish book, and it's only the cover, is about 2 millimeters bigger than the English book. So 2 millimeters is like tiny, tiny, tiny. Okay, so that's a little itty bitty difference. Now the pictures are all in the same order as they are in Blomster Mandala, so I won't open them up and go through them again. Show you is that the covers, they're pretty well the same thickness for both of them. It's just that the Swedish one is just a smidgen bigger, and that's all. The paper quality I'm writing below, but it feels exactly the same as the original one. Now up against each other, I'll just fold that down. Now up against page wise, when you put them page by page, and it's really quite difficult to do when they're up against each other like this and holding them, the English book actually looks slightly thicker, and I checked through it and all the pages are there, there's no additions, so I'm only assuming that their paperweight might be slightly heavier than Blomster Mandala, but it feels the same. Paper might be just a smidgen heavier than what it is in Blomster Mandala, but quite honestly, the paper is beautiful in both of them, so they're both gorgeous. So it's just a little tiny bit that the English one looks a little bit bigger. As far as pages go, they look thicker on the English edition than it does on the Swedish edition. I wish there was a good way of doing this so that you could actually see. Just a smidgen thicker it looks like, but of course I could be wrong and I don't have my glasses on, so it's always possible. But it does look a smidgen thicker to me. Let's have a look at our Twilight Garden. And in case you're not familiar with the sizing on Maria's book, just grab out Joanna's book so that you can see it up against the sizing up there. And you can see that it's smaller width-wise than Joanna's, but the same sort of sizing as Joanna's. And the reason that I use Joanna's book for the sizing is because it's readily available in most shops internationally, so most people have an idea of how big Joanna's book is. Okay, so inside we've got this lovely black protective page, and that's what we had in the Swedish edition as well. Plain text title page, always a great spot to test out your markers and your mediums. And if you need any colouring inspiration, I have a Pinterest board for Blomster Mandala. Gorgeous nameplate page. Now the paper is an off-white and it is really good quality. As I said, it may be a smidgen heavier than what's in Blomster Mandala. And here's the Swedish edition up against the English edition. And you can see that they're very similar in colour. They look pretty well the same. The line art is the same, very crisp in both of them. Everything has been reproduced very much the same. There's only some differences there in the binding. So we've got the lovely paper. And again, the one that's in the English edition does feel that it's slightly heavier. See from my view of it before that it does certainly make the book look a little bit larger. So the images do run up into the spine just the way they did in the Swedish edition, and with the hardback you just hold it like this so that you can colour up in those areas. And this is a hardback book, and we're not often used to seeing hardback books in the colouring world, so it makes it really special. The other lovely thing about Maria's books is that she has a number of pages where there's a pre-printed black background, and that black background just looks beautiful up against that black protection paper that she uses. It really complements and continues the theme throughout the book. Now, if you haven't seen it, I do have a Pinterest board set up for Blomster Mandala where you can see completed pages from within the book, and you can see how people have coloured these images over time. Now, I've only got the book 15 minutes ago, and look how easily it is folding over. Super easy. And I'll just show you up against Blomster Mandala. The binding is very similar. It does fold over quite easily. You do need to push on it a little bit, but you've got to do some work with your colouring books, hey? Now Maria does these gorgeous nature-based illustrations that are just so cute and whimsical at the same time. They're extremely gorgeous. Lots of different types of flowers, and she uses a lot of the little pointillism in her artwork, as well as little bits of texture that she adds by hatching and whatnot, different line work. But they're all very cute, very whimsical, lots of lovely little animals, and a huge variety of different flowers. So they're not all the same in different sizes, there's always different flowers. And of course bunny rabbits. So because it's about the garden, we have a lot of, garden-based things like vegetables and bunny rabbits and things that we find in the garden. And every now and again we'll have one of those lovely double page spreads with the black background. What you'll also notice is that the images are positioned really well on the page for the single page illustrations, whereas on the double page illustrations they do run into the spine, but pushing down you do get to colour in those areas. The bulk of the images are single page designs. There's so many different techniques you can use with Maria's work too. That's what I like about it, is that, you've got feathers, you've got fruits, you've got flowers, got so many different things that you can colour in. Makes it a really good all-round colouring book. And there we finish up with this gorgeous bouquet of flowers as like a sort of gift to you because you've finished it. Same lovely matte black protective paper. And there we have it, our beautiful English imprint of Twilight Garden based on the original Blomster Mandala. The imprint was published by Gibbs Smith in the US, and I think they've done a fantastic job of replicating Maria's original colouring book. The links to buy are below the video, and until next time, happy colouring.